Welcome everybody. How's everybody doing? How is everybody feeling? Happy Tuesday night, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great start to your week. If not, always remember you can turn it around and always make things better. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Live. My name is Christoph, also known as One Man, Three Hearts. I'm so happy to have you guys here with me tonight. On live, we will be debunking certain assumptions that are made about me, my life, my condition, and just in overall. Please don't be shy if you're in the chat. Be sure to say hello, introduce yourself, let us know where you're from. Ellen, what's going on, bestie? Also a member here on my channel. What's up, Ellen? How are you, honey? Welcome. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing well. So tonight, we're just going to be going into some of the different things that people may tend to assume or preconceived notions that people may have about me just by seeing me, even if it's just seeing me on social media. It's not always in person. Sometimes people see a post of mine, a video, even just a picture, and they're very quick to make assumptions. Now, I want to start by saying that assumptions are not necessarily always a bad thing. As human beings, we naturally have our curiosities, we naturally prejudge, we naturally make assumptions, and not all of it is always ill intent. Obviously, here on my channel, it's a safe place. I have really no tolerance for trolls, so that's not what I'm talking about when I say that. I'm talking about people that just innocently will be like, oh wow, he has a trach. He must have smoked before, or wow, he's on a ventilator. He must have had COVID. Things like that people just, without even thinking really, they just kind of come to the conclusion like, oh, it must be that. And sometimes it's innocent, but nonetheless, I think it's only fair to kind of separate the truths from the non-truths in that regard. And, the producer, Jennifer Cascardo, and I were thinking, and it comes up a lot in the comments especially that I see. And so I thought that it would be, well, we thought that it would be appropriate to kind of just once and for all knock them out and let you guys know what's myth and what's fact out there. Hello, best day ever, 2020. What's going on? Welcome. Thank you for joining the chat. Thank you for being here. Again, for those of you that may be new, my name is Christoph. I am a 40-year-old who is living with an extremely rare genetic muscle disease called myofibrillar myopathy. It has unfortunately progressively weakened my muscles to the point that I am now a fully disabled quadriplegic. And I am here to share my story in full transparency and just be really vulnerable and raw with all of you in hopes that you can look at my circumstances, you can look at everything that I've been through in my life, which, if you'd like to know more detail, you can always check out last week's episode of my new series, Top 10 Answers, where I answer the question, what happened to you, in detail. As well as you can check out the trailer to my short documentary, which is also in the video section. And you can explore the different support links in my About section. You can purchase my self-published memoir, One Man, Three Hearts, Nine Lives, which has over 100 5-star reviews on Amazon. My short documentary again, which is 6 Film Festival laurels. Nominated for Best Short Documentary. It Started with the Heart, a Sugar Beach Digital production on Vimeo by DocuMarket, as well as the GoFundMe, where you can make a generous contribution or donation in support of my life dream and mission to complete my full feature. But aside from all of that, let's get to it, my friends. So again, naturally, When people see me, they swipe, they come across my channel, they come across my live, they are going to naturally have certain assumptions. And so tonight I have a few that I kind of wanted to discuss, maybe get some feedback from you guys why you may think some of these assumptions are prevalent, and just, have a dialogue and really just kind of clear up some misconceptions. So let's kick things off. Mary, hello, hello. We got 2 members representing in the chat. Guys, do not forget, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are interested in becoming a member and having an awesome badge like Ellen and Mary do there, as you can see by the color of their badges, that kind of represents when they joined, you will get a badge next to your name. Priority response to all comments, because it's really hard for me to comment these days on the hundreds of comments that I get a day because of my hand weakness, as well as access to members only lives. So definitely check out the boxcar tier membership, $2.99. The join button, I believe, is right next to the subscribe button. Okay, enough promo. We got all that out of the way. Now let's get to the good stuff, baby. Bryce, what's up, girl? What's up, girl? all right. So, Mia, what happened? That video I just posted in my top 10 answers video section. It's one of my most recent videos that I just posted. So definitely check that out for that answer, that full answer, Mia. First assumption. A lot of people assume that because I have a tracheostomy, that I was a cigarette smoker or that I vaped. I never did either. I think I tried a cigarette once, like when I was like 15, 16 years old, and I didn't even do it right. Like, I didn't even inhale. I was like too scared. I remember taking a puff and be like, pop, pop, pop. Like, it was just so mortifying, and that was the last time I ever touched cigarettes. I did, however, have my share of hangouts with Mary Jane. That's my girl right there. But no, my tracheostomy is not from smoking or vaping. That's a very common misconception, I'll be very honest with you. I myself, I really thought that was the only reason that people got trachs, because growing up, I always saw the anti-smoking campaigns. Every time you saw a trach, it was portrayed as some kind of really diabolical, scary, oh my gosh, like, and listen, I get it. Ideally, nobody wants to get a trach, so they're going to try and make these commercials to deter you, but in the same regard, it made me terrified to even hear the doctors mention the possibility of me needing one. I had so many questions right away, and my assumptions about myself, that just goes back to what I was saying earlier, that assumptions aren't always like a bad thing. But my immediate assumption when that was brought up to me back in 2010, when I went into respiratory failure and I needed to be trached, was that I am going to now be viewed as a monster. Then every time I go out into public, people are going to be looking at me as like this weird creature, and nobody's going to want to be near me. Even with my nephews and nieces, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be the creepy old uncle. They're never going to want anything to do with me. ZJ, what's going on? Jack, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ellis. Thank you, everybody that's joining. So, I had my own preconceived notions about being trached. One of the first questions, in fact, that I asked the doctors before the surgery was, am I going to sound like a robot afterwards? Because, again, every trach commercial that I had seen, every representation of a trach, the person's voice box had been removed, which I learned about later on. And so that's why they spoke the way that they did. But, I had so many different fears that were not true. So, to clear that up, no, I never was a smoker of cigarettes. I never vaped. And so that's not why I have my trach. The reason I have my trach is because of my rare degenerative muscle disease called myofibrillar myopathy. And my diaphragm, which is the muscle that supports our lung function, is one of the main muscles that was affected by my disease. I went into respiratory failure in the summer of 2010, and I've now had my trach for 14 years. And, now it's something that I rarely even think about. And yes, when I go out, people do stare. People do look and, are naturally curious. And again, I don't fault them for that. I've also learned out that a lot of people stare in admiration and are just like, wow, look at this guy with a trach that's hooked up to a ventilator and he is just out with his family and friends and laughing, enjoying a good time. He's eating, he's talking, and a few people that I have actually made eye contact with while they were staring. They came over and they were like, listen, I'm sorry if I was staring. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable, but I'm just in awe of you. And, you're an inspiration. Or other people have had family members who were trached and they're like, wow, my brother was trached and, he was not able to do so many of the things that you do. So forgive me for staring. And it's just, I've really learned that human nature, sometimes we can see things and perceive them in the wrong way. And, people are just naturally curious. All right, so that's the first assumption. Feel free, guys, to chime in, jump in, ask any questions. I'm really more than happy to answer questions. I will redirect you either to my arsenal of videos and shorts and other lives in case you have a question that I happen to go into more detail and cover in one of those areas. So I'm not trying to dismiss you by any means. I'm just trying to stay focused and stay on the train track, so to speak, for the live. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions. Welcome, Vivi, welcome. Captain Legendary 897. What's going on? Lourdes Rodriguez. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you guys for being here. No, I'm actually at home. I'm in my comfy bed. I'm just chilling right now. So thank you, Captain Legendary. Thank you. Yes, all support links are in the About section here on my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate any and all support. My self-published memoir, my short documentary, as well as the GoFundMe. All those links are in the About section, and any and all support is greatly appreciated. Head over to that GoFundMe, make a generous donation. God'll love you. And we will too. So, second assumption, folks, is do you have COVID? Is this from COVID? I totally understand that assumption because for a lot of people, they did not have contact with ventilators. They did not hear about ventilators until the pandemic. With the pandemic, you heard so many different stories about the hospitals looking for ventilators because there was a ventilator shortage. A lot of people that were on ventilators, and that was kind of the sign that they may be unalived at some point. Like, it was very, very scary, naturally, whenever people heard the word ventilator or that a loved one was on a ventilator. So I completely understand that association. But again, I am not on a ventilator because of COVID. Fun fact, I actually never had COVID. Knock on. My weak hand is gonna knock on my table real quick. I never had COVID, thankfully. So I am on a ventilator again as a result of my degenerative genetic muscle disease. Now, because it affected my diaphragm muscle, my breathing became compromised. Again, this was back in the summer of 2010 when I was first trached and I went into respiratory failure. Now, back at that time, when I was first placed on the ventilator, I only needed the ventilator to go to sleep. So while I did have the trach, for the duration of my days, I would plug it with either a small red plug that occludes the stoma of the trach, which means that I'm then breathing on my own, or I would put in what's called a Passer-Muir valve. So anybody that's familiar with trachs or ventilators, the Passer-Muir valve is a tiny valve that's placed inside the trach that kind of allows you to breathe through not just your mouth and your nose, but your trach as well. So it helps just your breathing be a little bit easier. But my lungs were fairly strong 14 years ago, and I really only needed the ventilator when I was either sleeping, taking a nap, or I just wanted to rest my lungs for the day. When I would go on the ventilator, there were many times that I would leave the cuff deflated like I do right now, and that's what allows me to speak. So my ventilator dependency is a result again of my disease, not of COVID. So having the ventilator, it was helping me to breathe, especially at night, because when I would drift off to sleep, that's when I would stop breathing completely. So sleep apnea. As the years progressed and my diaphragm gradually got weaker, which is a symptom of the um, condition, I then needed the ventilator more. And so gradually, more and more, I needed the ventilator throughout the day. And I would say the pandemic is when I officially made the switch to needing the ventilator 24/7. When I was home during quarantine and for isolation, there were so many hours that I spent on the ventilator just because it was easier. I was home, I was in bed, I was watching TV, and, I just didn't want to put in the respiratory work. And next thing I knew, after a few months of doing that, when I would come off of the ventilator, I found myself borderline in distress, and it was much harder for me to breathe. And so within the last 4 years, little by little, I've become like completely vent dependent 24/7. Now I am able to come off the ventilator for short periods of time. I would say like 5 to 7 minutes at a time before I start to panic and get in distress. But as you can see right now, I'm hooked up and my cuff is deflated. I am at room air for oxygen, so 28%. And yep, that's why I have the ventilator. Never lose your smile. My disease is called myofibrillar myopathy. Again, I just did a new series called Top 10 Answers, and my last episode was What Happened to You? I have a new episode is dropping this Thursday, 9 p.m. Every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. New episodes for Top 10 Answers series. Best day ever 2020. Gain has been bullied and now bullies others. Listen, listen, listen. Unfortunately, okay, when you are putting yourself out there, sharing your life, and you just give people an opportunity to say something, sometimes it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes it's not always going to be the nicest thing. But the thing is we have to learn to be able to rise up, brush it off your shoulders, and keep it moving. There once was a time, this is perfect because this segues right into my third assumption of the fact that I am somehow not happy, that I do not enjoy my life. The assumption that I could never have a good quality of life, that I'm a what was it burden on society, that I'm a burden on my family, and again, listen, understandable to make those assumptions because you do have certain situations where that may be true. But for your boy, for me personally, no, it is not. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm human and I have my bad days just like everybody else. I have days where I wake up and I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to fight. I don't want to be positive. I don't want to go out there and inspire the world. I don't want to share. No, thank you. But for the majority of the time, I have learned to put things in perspective. I've learned to really focus on what matters. I've learned to not take things for granted. I've learned to really take every single opportunity to cherish and spend time with my loved ones. I've learned not to care what other people think about me. I've learned to live life for myself. And I've learned to enjoy certain aspects of life in a way that it lights my soul on fire, that it makes me so happy that I don't know if I didn't get sick and I wasn't completely debilitated that I would be able to sit outside and enjoy the sun on my skin, enjoy the sound of the birds, enjoy the wind, just enjoy life the way that I do. I truly, truly don't. And so, a lot of people think that it's strange sometimes when I say that I'm grateful for my disease because I now see life through a different lens, through a more powerful lens, through a more open minded lens. And so, yes, is it fair to assume that because I'm in a situation where I'm completely debilitated and I need someone to wipe my ass when I go to the bathroom and, I have to be spoon fed and I have to wear a bib and I can't go for a walk on the beach? I can't drive my car around and listen to music. I can't even hug my loved ones. I'm not even strong enough to lift my arms up to hold my niece in my arms. Yes, it's fair to assume that I'm depressed, that I'm sad, that I hate life, but I promise you that's not the case. It's really, really not. And it's taken a lot of training. It's taken a lot of work on my part. It's taken a lot of internal strength. But I'm also grateful to the support of my family, my friends, my community, and each and every single one of you. Even you, Gain. Even you, but I love you, Gain. Mwah, sweetheart. Because you just gave me some content for my live, baby. Stumbling Chicken Nugget 309. Yes, I am okay. Thank you so much for asking. Hoonigan RC. I am a 40-year-old quadriplegic living with an extremely rare genetic muscle disease. But to find out exactly what happened to me, go check out my most recent video that I posted in my top 10 series called What Happened to You. Guys, also please check out all of the support links located in my About section in the bio here of my channel on YouTube. I would be really, really grateful for anybody that purchases my book, rents or purchases my short documentary, or makes a generous fat donation to the GoFundMe in support of my life dream and mission. Auntie J, honestly, I'm gonna leave because without knowing it's getting boring. Auntie J, listen, I'm just trying not to eat up the live, but you can feel free to go check out my most recent video. Tyler Hecker, I love you too. I love you, love you, love you, love you. Vivi asks, how long do you have to be on the machine? So, unfortunately, because of my condition, there is really no exact prognosis in terms of how long I'm going to be on the machine. There is currently no treatment and no cure. So, really, it's hard to say. Although I always do remain hopeful that things can kind of change for the better in the future. But ultimately, it's really in God's hands. And I always, again, stay positive with medical technology and advancements that anything can happen. So I always stay hopeful. Champion Prod says, bro, I feel you. I just got diagnosed with sclerodoma yesterday. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You're an absolute warrior. I can't imagine how difficult that must be. I really, really, I'm sending you prayers, love, and strength, and I'm glad that you happened upon my live because I don't believe in coincidences. I think you were meant to be here for a reason, and I really hope that you hit that subscribe button and just continue to follow along in my journey so that we can connect further in the future and we can lean on each other. Again, that's why I have this community. That's why I built this platform along with producer Jennifer. We've wanted to create a safe space for any and all of my supporters to feel comfortable and just be able to hold each other, and encourage each other, motivate each other on the road to victory. So I'm really happy to have you here. Thank you. Addy B2011 is asking, is it scary to be on a ventilator? Naturally at first, it's definitely scary, especially just not the unknown, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what it's going to feel like. that could definitely be very, very scary. Um, but as human beings, we tend to adapt, we tend to, grow and adjust. And that's exactly what happened to me. Like I said, I hardly notice the trach and the ventilator anymore. I've gotten so accustomed to it, but that was definitely not the case when I was first ventilator dependent. I was very scared. I was very, very anxious all the time. I was sad about it. I didn't like having to be trached or be on a ventilator, so I don't want there to be any confusion with that. It's just something that I've kind of grown into and learned to accept, which time is a wonderful healer. It really is. Time is such a beautiful thing and can get you through a lot of things. Mrs. Burton says, hugs and kisses to you, Chris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Addie, thank you so much. Your strength is phenomenal. Thank you. You're so sweet. I really appreciate that. Vivi says, I'm subscribing. Thank you for being you. Thank you, Vivi. Thank you. And Vivi, please consider joining the membership. With the membership, you get exclusive content, all things Christoph. Guys, I'm about to take my 10 o'clock meds. So if you'll just give me a second. Emmanuel is here to give me my meds, and just gonna take them real quick, and then I'll be right again with you. R.S. Scott, R. Scott, happy birthday, guys! Can we get happy birthday to Scott in the chat? How many pills do I take? How many pills do I take?
The first one is 9.
9.
Yeah, but it's 8.
Okay. In the evening.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Scott. Okay, moving right along. Scott France has a great comment because that takes us right into my next assumption. Scott France says, are you baptized for your sins in Jesus' name? The answer is yes. Now, a lot of people, again, this is not a bad thing, assume that I do not have faith, that I'm not faithful, that I do not believe in Jesus, that I don't practice. I do cover that topic in this week's Top 10 Answers video in detail, but I will say that I am Catholic. I am very faithful. I'm at a point in my life that there have been too many different powerful things that have happened throughout my life for me to ever deny my faith. So I address that again in this week's Top 10 Answers video. Have your notifications turned on for that one. It's going to be a good one. I received all of my sacraments, and, yes, I am very, very faithful. Jesus is King. Numia asks, are you from North or South Jersey? I am from North Jersey, Numia. Ham Benry 23. If you don't mind my asking, what happened? So, Ham Benry 23. My name is Christoph. I am a 40-year-old quadriplegic. I'm living with an extremely rare genetic muscle disease called myofibrillary myopathy. I discuss everything that has happened to me and everything that I've been through in my most recent last week's episode of my top 10 answers, what happened to you. I discuss my 2 heart transplants, my kidney transplant, getting my gallbladder removed, liver stones, kidney stones, respiratory failure, thyroid cancer, pulmonary embolism, and my diagnosis and how I ended up with all of it. So I would really appreciate you checking out that video. Leave me a comment with what you think. Again, I really appreciate all of your interactions. Last week alone, we had 52,000 visits to my channel. Thank you guys. Sunny D, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. So, no, yes, sorry, my medication alarm. I always forget to turn off my medication alarm when I go live. So I got to start remembering to do that. Guys, can we get a shout out for producer Jennifer Cascardo in the chat? I'm so grateful for her. She is my right hand. We work so hard together to build not just this platform, but all different avenues for me to be able to share my life with all of you. And I just would not have made it this far in my career without her. So, guys, please give a big shout out to Jennifer Cascardo, producer, marketing strategist, and just an overall genius in general in the chat. Hello, my friend. Hello. So that brings me to my next topic here on assumptions for debunking assumptions Tuesday Night Live. Guys, if you are not subscribed, remember to hit that subscribe button and check out all the support links in my bio. My self-published memoir, my short documentary, 6 Film Festival Laurels, nominated for Best Short Documentary in one, and the GoFundMe, all the support links are in the About section here of my channel. So the About, next assumption. You look like you are so well off. It's a natural assumption because I am very put together, that I have an amazing caregiver who really keeps me so groomed and looking fresh. You know, I'm always nicely put together and well dressed, and that therefore gives off this message that I am so well off and just rolling in money, especially because of, you know, my platforms and all the different projects that I have going on. And I wish that was the case. I really do, because being sick in America is expensive. But unfortunately, once upon a time, I was very affluent. My mom is a retired physician, and my dad worked for the United Nations, eventually went into real estate, and for most of my life, you know, I was very well off, very well taken care of. I went to great schools, I drove nice cars, I lived in a huge house, you know, I had all the things. And things happen in life, and things change, and unfortunately I'm now in a position where that just no longer is the case. Again, my mom is retired. She is now, you know, getting up there in her age, as well as my dad. They are no longer able to support me the way that they once did. And a lot of my resources and expensive have been exhausted in order to just maintain my survival. And so that is why now I'm in the process of really working hard to build my career. And it's twofold. One, because I really do genuinely feel called by God to share my story, to inspire others, and to just really embark on this mission to help as many people as I can. That is like the first and foremost reason why I do what I do, because it really makes me feel so good inside. It really gives me a sense of purpose and a sense of value to keep going on in my life. But I need to be able to pay for a lot of my necessities, medical necessities, utility necessities, my rent, just enable to be able to survive. And, you know, as well as developing this team and, you know, people that I have working with me. So I am really confident that because of my mind and my spirit and my intelligence, that I can go very far in life despite being completely physically debilitated. And I've really been able to prove that to myself in the last several years. And again, not without the help of people like the producer Jennifer and the support of all of you. I've been able to build this huge platform that has reached millions of people all over the world. I'm now a keynote speaker, and I go and I speak to schools and organizations, sharing my story and encouraging such young, developing minds as well as adults who may be going through their own personal things in their life to just keep going, to never give up, to keep fighting, and to always strive to be the best version of yourself, no matter what life may throw in your way. You can always be victorious amidst defeat every single time. And, it's just, I've really shown myself that I can achieve anything that I put my mind to it. That my goals don't have to be diminished or don't have to, I don't have to limit myself just because I'm physically limited. And so I hope that I can encourage other people to keep going, to keep pushing, and to keep striving to be the best in their own lives. So yes, despite the perception that I may be well off because of how well put together I am, and unfortunately at this point in time I'm not, and I'm just working very very hard to be able to get to a place of financial freedom, to be able to sustain my life, my needs, but also to be able to continue to grow this very very important movement that I have started. And, I can't do it without all of you and my incredible team, so I'm very, very grateful for that. Ox Spine! Thank you so much. Thank you for the dollar. Thank you so much. Summer Senders, thank you for the prayers. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Hector. I appreciate you. Tyler Hecker, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know Jennifer and we are definitely gonna get a moderator and assign some moderators. Don't worry. Roblox, dude, what's going on? I play Roblox with my nephew, and it's one of our favorite things to do together. We play Brookhaven. What else? We play hoops and soccer. Uh, there's like a spray paint game that we play together. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Osvaldo Gonzalez. Thank you. Osvaldo says, I liked and subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. DA Monkey with Danana. Thank you for being so kind. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to share. And I'm just happy to be engaging with all of you guys. I can't say it enough. As much as you say that I give you strength and I motivate and inspire you, I draw a lot of strength from each and every one of you. I can't tell you how many different times that I've been in a rut or not feeling it and been in a really down and depressed place, and I come on here, I read your messages, I read your comments, and I just feel so, so motivated to keep going, to never give up, to keep pushing myself. So I have to thank you guys just as much as you thank me. Ah. Oh my gosh, Juan Carlos has a very, very good comment. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. It will knock you down on your knees and keep you there permanently if you're not strong enough. It's so, so very true. And again, that is why I've chosen to open up my life and be so vulnerable and share with each one of you. It really, really means a lot. And, I have lived some of the toughest challenges, the toughest obstacles. I have gone through so many things that science and medicine says that I should not be here. Every fact says that I should not be alive. And yet I'm still here and I'm still pushing. And I fight anxiety every single day. I fight moments of depression constantly. I fight so many reasons to want to give up, especially with a progressive disease where things are continually getting harder. And so I just want you to know that if I could do it, if I could wake up every single morning and still show up and still give it my all, then you can too. We can lean on each other, be there for each other, and hold each other accountable, because I want you guys to know that You are more amazing and powerful than you even realize. There is so much strength inside of you that you may not even know that you're capable of. But if you tap into it, I promise you it's there. I promise you it's there. Guys, please don't forget to like this live, give that thumbs up button, subscribe. Also, please join as members because that's where the juicy stuff is in my members only lives, as well as priority response to all your comments. And if you care, if you really, really love me, then you'll check out the About section on my homepage and consider either purchasing my memoir, renting or purchasing my short documentary, or making a generous donation to the GoFundMe. Mark says, thank you, friend. God bless you. Oh my gosh, my pleasure. My pleasure, my pleasure. God bless you too. Lance Morgan, thank you. Thank you. If that is the case, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Normally I get notifications when I get a cash app, but we'll see. All right, any questions? As he speaks, hello, welcome, honey. Oh, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you here. Okay, let's see. Do we have any other assumptions as we are getting ready to wrap things up? Any other assumptions? I mean, you guys could throw out some assumptions. Also, please feel free. As he speaks, I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good to, because I always see you in the comments, and I love to see whenever you interact. Tyler Hecker is right. Yes, yes. Everyone liked the live. Everyone liked the live. Okay, so another assumption that I will go into more detail that's going to be coming up in next week's Top 10 Answers is that I am not able to eat or drink. And thankfully, I am. I'm still able to enjoy a lot of my favorite foods and beverages. And that's one thing that I try to focus on. Like when I got really sad and depressed about not being able to feed myself, I'm like, listen, at least I can still eat. That's a big thing for me. And I'll explain why that is full detail in my next video. But a lot of people that have trachs are on feeding tubes. I actually, one of my really closest friends whose trach is on a feeding tube. One of my really close friends that also has my condition is on a feeding tube. So again, that's not an incorrect assumption. A lot of people will make that assumption, and for most people it's true. It just doesn't happen to be the case for me. Beverly, Bestie Bev has entered the chat. Beverly, have you been here the whole time and I just didn't see you? Beverly, guys, is another loyal member. Thank you for being here, Beverly. Thank you so much. Chanel Zoid. So, what condition? It's called myofibrillar myopathy. Myofibrillar myopathy. I did a video that you can check out right after this live. It's called What Happens to You in my Top 10 Answers section. It's called myofibrillar myopathy. Myofibrillar myopathy. Canal Zoid. So, but you can check out I promise you there's like I think it's my last video. Not my last short, my last video that I go into full detail. Bailey, I don't have a feeding tube. Thankfully, thank God I don't have a feeding tube. Ellen, I know. Ellen, you were like the first one to jump in. Joey, actually, that was one of the first assumptions that I addressed. No, this was not caused from smoking. And this was not COVID. Not caused from smoking, not COVID. Addie, how did it start? So it started with weakness in and tingling in my toes. Again, check out that last video, What Happens to You. I go into full detail. I only have a few more minutes and it's just too long to go into right now. But I promise you, if you check out that video, I'll answer all your questions. Hedgehog, thank you. Thank you for the answer. Thank you so much. Baller, thank you, thank you. Emmanuel? We could just suction and then I'll take the phone. Oh, you can leave it while I suction, yeah. Guys, I'm just gonna suction real quick. For those of you that are queasy or, you know, have like sensitivity issues, this is kind of up there with the sensitivity. So now would be your time to exit the live. Just a little warning. I will be suctioning, so a catheter will be placed inside of my trach to suck out all the secretions that I've built up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I discussed suctioning also in one of my long videos. Yeah, that was the first video of my top 10 answers. Does it hurt? So I answer that question. Best day ever? Yes, check out my last two previous videos. You'll be surprised how many answers I can take it. Thank you. You just. Oh, I got it. Sorry there, guys. Vortex, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, Abe Norwood, it did go down my neck. Drea, what's going on? It's good to see you, Drea. Can you lower the head of the bed a little bit? A little more? A little more. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Hello, Drea. Addie asks, was your family scared when you got diagnosed? Yes, actually, yes. They were really, really scared just because no one had ever heard of myofibrillary myopathy before, especially even my mom, who was a trained physician. She's been a physician for over 45 years. She had never heard of it, was not familiar with it, and so it was definitely very, very scary. But I think just seeing how well I adapted, I handled it, they're definitely not as scared anymore. That's a great question, but thank you for asking that. Thank you. Ryan, the Miller family. Hello. Ryan says you will be in my prayers. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate the prayers. Thank you. Thank you. Vortex Phone Creator says, I'm sorry that you got hurt. Oh, don't worry. Don't be sorry. The purple one. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my God. I love to see my regulars popping in. I love to see it. Thank you for joining the purple one. Hello, Briley, Kenny. Hello, hello, hello. Can I just have a little water, please? Thank you. Guys, look who joined us. Thank you. And can you just push the wedge a little bit? My name is Christoph Nicole. Thank you. All right.
All right.
All right. Have a good night. Yes, yes. Hello, Nicole. My name is Christoph. I'm a 40-year-old quadriplegic. I'm living with an extremely rare genetic muscle disease called myofibrillar myopathy. For those of you that are watching and are curious about what happened in full detail, you can either check out my most recent long video in my top 10 answer series called What Happened to You. It's literally the most recent video that I posted. Or you can read my self-published memoir, One Man, Three Hearts, Nine Lives, which is available on Amazon and Kindle with over 100 5-star reviews. You can also watch my short documentary, available for rent or purchase on Vimeo. It Started with the Heart, a Sugar Beach digital production by DocuMarket. Again, those links are in my About section, as well as the GoFundMe to support my life dream and mission to finish my full feature. Dumpling, yes, good question. Dumpling asks, can you clear your throat? And yes, I still can. So my throat muscles thankfully still work, so I'm still able to clear it. I'm still able to clear my throat. Sometimes I actually have to clear my throat when I deflate my cuff in the morning, because just after sleeping for several hours, I tend to build up a lot of secretions in my throat. Naruto Uzumaki says, hey man, I hope you get better soon. I don't know what you have going on in your life. It looks bad for you. I hope you get better soon though. Another assumption, and that's the last assumption that we'll discuss before we wrap things up. You know, a lot of people assume that I'm on my deathbed. Oh, things look so dire for you. They look bad. And, you know, again, when I'm in bed, when I'm hooked up to the ventilator, it's natural to assume that. You know, a lot of people assume that I'm on my last leg. And listen, I was given less than 6 months to live when I was just 6 years old. I received a death sentence at the age of 6, and I was told that I would not live to see my 7th birthday. I'll be celebrating, God willing, my 41st birthday this summer, okay? Okay, so we are here to stay, baby. And as crazy as things look and as dire as they look, I promise you that I'm still full of life, full of energy, and I'm still gonna give it my all. I'm still gonna be here for a while. Tony, what's going on, Tony? Nova Hampton, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, thank you so much for joining live. I appreciate you being here with me tonight. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for all content, Christoph. But if you want the exclusive content, you gotta join as a member. You gotta join as a member. My goal is to try and hit 100,000 subscribers by June 12th. So, you know, tell your friend, share with a friend, let them know that, you know, Christoph's the man. Christoph's the man. No, I'm kidding, but not really. Drea, have a blessed night, Drea. Mama T, good night. Sweet dreams, my friends. Jennifer, hello. Hello, hello. NH, no. That was another assumption. I do not vape. I do not smoke cigarettes. No, no, no. Inez, Florida Scratcher, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Anybody, any last minute questions before I head out for the night? Anybody, anybody, anybody? Naruto Uzumaki says, I'm so happy that you feel good. I'm leaving now. I hope you can get a good night's sleep. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Again, please, if you would like to know what happened to me, want to know about my full story, please check out my most recent video. Go blow that up. Leave a comment, share, add to favorites, do everything you gotta do. As he speaks, no, I do not have any children. I do not have any children. Actually, the last assumption. Am I Drake? Unfortunately, guys, I hate to break it to you, but I am not Drake. I am Drake's grandfather, Drake with a Drake. but I'm not Drake. A lot of people assume that I'm Drake. Anita Max win, but I'm not. W's in the chat. Everybody, I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember, no matter how hopeless, dark, sad, frustrating things may seem, they can always get better. You can always turn things around. I am living proof of that. Don't give up. Hang in there. Keep fighting, and always do your very, very best to dig deep within yourself and find that strength. I promise you it's there. I promise you. Okay? Thank you, Captain. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night, guys. Good night, good night, good night, good night. I really appreciate you guys being here. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. And again, don't forget to subscribe, join as a member, and hit those links in my about section, especially the GoFundMe. Guys, please, I would really, really appreciate it if you could just make a generous donation. Together, we can finish this film. Together, we are victorious. All right, I love you. Have a good night.